girl. Come on in.
My Columbus kid, Nagas. Long Island.
Revolution is here.
New York.
Revolution is here. Revolution is here.
Okay, my eye.
Revolution is here.
Okay, my eye. Okay, my eye. Okay, my eye.
Revolution is here.
Okay, my eye. Y'all better be cool. We shaking up the block. Kinda energy that make the white neighbor call the cops. Either you are on top or you hang with all the ops. Feeling like I'm Bron James, first time he caught the rock. Man, I treat the rap game like I'm sitting on a pot. Chitty, chitty, bang, bang, teleport across the lot. European cars drove just so I could pardon them. Pardon me, the young African educated targeted. Hot Nagas on fire, elevated marvelously. Catch me with who started with me. Brothers who was starving with me. Sisters who assisted, and homies going harder with me. Shine, cause the ancestral spirit is retarded in me. They bout all the titties and spinning biddies. I'm taking all the winnings and building cities. Walk through the neighborhood familiar and respected by a couple riders that'll kill you in a second.
Revolution is here.
Okay, my eye.
Revolution is here.
Okay, my eye.
Revolution is here.
Okay, my eye.
Revolution is here.
Had to earn respect, couldn't afford to burn a check. Habits didn't last long. Weed, Molly, Percocet. New York summers are how you bleeding out. Tourniquet. Most of my friends is on drugs you never heard of yet. Dealing with the damages, most of it is permanent. Killing all the amateurs, flows be the murderers. Couple rappers running around claiming that they conscious now. Things people do just to make a profit. Wow, I am not the sharpest man in the world, but most of us got the attention span of a squirrel. The hardest artist you thinking the man is a girl. The only thing missing is a fan and some pearls. I ain't hating, no, get your money, player. If you don't do it now, you gon' run into me later. The consciousness of the people is resonating greater, so I'll be consistently leaving records on the fader.
Revolution is here.
Okay, my eye.
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 Revolution is here.
Hey, how y'all doing this evening? This is AMPspirationTTV, and I am your host, the Plum Queen. Well, it is Friday, the last day of the week, the beginning of the weekend, and of course, I appreciate all of y'all giving me y'all time and all of your energy. Love, love, love y'all. Make sure y'all hit that share button. Share, because you know we have to make Ampspiration go viral. All right, well, you know, the holidays just passed. Everybody, I hope everyone had a Happy Turkey Day, whatever it is that you celebrate. If you did not celebrate it, I appreciate that too. And so does my ancestors. I ain't gonna get on here and preach to y'all about these holidays and whatnot. We all grown, we all know what it is. As I always just say, everybody just needs to respect everyone's decisions to do what they want to do, you know, when it comes down to certain things that we do in society. You know, because we have so many things, you know, for us to argue about, for us to debate about, for us to have an issue with. So, you know, I let folks do what they do. Anybody that knows me really don't do too tough on holidays, but any day that I can love up on my family members and, you know, we have some time to spend QT and, you know, vibe and be positive, I'm all for it. Don't matter what day, you know, of the week it is or what holiday. All right. But during this day, I had some really good conversations with my mom, my pops, and my sisters and some of my cousins. I was actually watching an old episode of Sister Circle. It was with David Banner on it. he was talking and promoting about the new movie that he came out with that me and my mom had went to go see on the 1st of November. So I was almost like introducing David Banner, to my pops. He really is not aware about who he is and what he's about. And so he was intrigued. So we got to talking, about what was going on the show. And it kind of bled into other conversations about like different stars and, people that are in our community that, have some type of following or that people love and, can make a difference, in our society. And having this conversation kind of just shown me my growth. Because normally when I get into conversations like this with my sister and my pops, we tend to debate. We have very strong personalities and very strong perspectives about life and certain things. So normally it tends to, get a little, argumentative. But yesterday was a whole lot different. A lot due to, I guess, all of our growth. I definitely handle things a little bit different. And I appreciate that because I feel like now that I'm in a different space and I get to, listen more, I get to see, there are a lot of people who think alike and have the same perspective. So if you feel that way, that someone else does. So I need to come with an approach so, we can come all to some common ground. Again, arguing and debating does not help. It just, keeps... Nothing is being absorbed. No information is being shared. Everybody is just talking, if you understand what I'm saying. So we were talking about like, different people who have, I guess, clout in our community. Steve Harvey was one of the people we were talking about. Now, my sister does not like him. She actually despises him because of some of the things that he has said on his show, on his radio show, on his TV. He has done certain things, in her mind that she feels that, it makes him an evil person. She, from her perspective of Steve Harvey, when he first came out in his comedy, she felt like he was pro-black. He dressed that way, he spoke about different issues and he put that in his comedy. And as you can see, as of late in his career, he's kind of watered all of that down. He's more of the, clean cut, all American, black man. And, he is, putting out that image, that he is, for his country and, doing everything the right way and all political and all. That is the, the image or, that he is putting out right now. So that bothers her. And then he has done some things in a male chauvinist way, and she doesn't like that either. And especially coming from him, writing a book, to help women, as far as how we behave and how we relate to men. So now, me personally, when Steve Harvey came out with his Think Like a, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man books, though I've read them, I read both of them, and at that time, when they were coming out, I needed that information. Now, my pops, of course, is like your cliche man who feels like Steve Harvey was giving out, the man code. He was giving out secrets, that he wasn't supposed to tell. That's just supposed to be for the dude. Y'all supposed to have that. And what I was trying to explain to my sister is that his mentality about, him violating the bro code is kind of the same attitude that she has, where he's concerned about, different issues, especially like when women, because he had said something on his show once that was kind of crazy. I think, I don't know who it was, but there was a woman on there and she had cut her hair off. Maybe it was Tamar Braxton, not sure. But she cut a lot shorter than mine, like a buzz cut. She cut all her hair off. And Steve Harvey made the comment pretty much telling her, I don't know, I can't do it verbatim, but he pretty much told her, if you, change your appearance drastically, than what your man is used to, and he doesn't like it, then you should anticipate, him cheating on you. That's pretty much what he was telling everybody, which is 1,000%, wrong, and in my view. But what I've learned is you have to embrace all. There's good and bad. There's weak and strong. You know what I'm saying? There's left and right. There always has to be a balance. One of the reasons why I picked the song, the intro song, Ankh in My Eye. Life and balance. Everything is a balance. You know, we have this attitude, you know, that everybody is supposed to be good. That everybody is supposed to have this, this cookie cutter, perspective of how you're supposed to be. And that's just not how life works. You know, I appreciated what Steve Harvey said in his books. I needed that particular information at that time, and I appreciate that. But at the end of the day, he is still a human being. He still has a perspective. You know, he has his way of and his reasons on why he feels the way he feels. He seems to be a male chauvinist. That's cool. I don't have to worry about that. You know why? I'm not his wife. I'm not his mother. I'm not his daughters. So him being a male chauvinist doesn't, mess with my universe. It doesn't affect my universe at all. So being angry at him or feeling, strongly, a strong negative, feeling about him, doesn't make sense. That's a waste of energy. He has a right to feel that way. He's going to have to deal with the consequences, all the results of that behavior. This is something that as human beings we have to understand. You don't have to worry about folks. The universe takes care of us all in its own time and in its own way. Period. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. A lot of times we want folks to have their karma to come right then. That's not how it works. So for all of those things, all those bad things that he quote unquote said, or his points of view, because again, that is his point of view. No matter how right or wrong you may think it is, he has a right to feel the way he feels. Peace for everyone coming on in. He has a right to that. Just like you have a right to feel that what he is saying is wrong. You know what I'm saying? We all have that right. So I feel like because of how we are as black people in our community, we don't need any more reasons, to not support, or be combative with one another. We have enough of that. And this is why it's not, a lot of people feel like, we're trying to give each other a pass for our wrongdoings, because we take into consideration certain things. And how is that a bad thing? We judge one another, so harshly, and we don't even think about everyone is growing. Another point she was talking about David Banner. Now, she also used to like David Banner, felt some type of way about him, and he said something or did something, that she felt was wrong, and it completely stopped her from wanting to listen to what he has to say, his music, and any other, content that he has put out, on social media. And he has grown. I think the last thing she saw, I think he was at some type of rally or something that had to do with children, and someone said something to him and he was responding, and as he was responding, he got emotional. And it became, you can tell that when he was speaking from a personal place instead of a general, I'm teaching place. It got personal for him. And we have to understand, we're human. Now, David Banner, as of recent, if you watch some of the videos that I repost of his, he always speaks of his growth. How there's a lot of things that he has said and a lot of things that he has done and a lot of ways he has thought, 2, 3, 4 years ago, that he doesn't feel that way now because he has grown. So now, now that I have said this to her, she's going to now look into, what he's been doing now and what he has been saying. But she judged him, specifically based off that one event. And this is what we do as black people all the time. Some of us can do just amazing things for our people on a regular basis. And then you do one wrong thing. You be human one time and do something that not even a wrong thing, something that society deems wrong. And you completely forget about everything that they've done. And, and all of the potential that they have, for the future. Like David Banner is, he's going to be great for us. He's a great revolutionary individual. He is. And he has this aggressive side. He comes from Mississippi. He comes from a hard life, just like the rest of us. But he has elevated himself. He makes money, he does his music and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, he's about our people. And we need to gravitate, and we need to start supporting our people who are doing that for us, because let's keep it a buck. All of us that are having these conversations, what are we doing? We're sitting around here conversating and judging other people's actions, other people that are making steps and strides and even, attempting to do something for our community. And we're judging them on how they do that. And this is why a lot of us, it deters us from even wanting to be leaders and even wanting to, take that step, because it's like, I'm doing this for us. You know what I mean? And you're not doing anything at all. You're just following me up until I do something that you don't like. And now, you're completely judging, or everything that I've done just goes away. We're the only group of people that I know that do that. And this is why we don't get anywhere. Say what you want about white folk, Tomahawk, whatever you want to call them. They got issues with one another. They'll sell their own mama for some bread. But when they have an agenda against someone else, all that goes out the window. They do what they have to do. They use their resources and work it out until their enemy or, their opponent is destroyed. That's how they run. And we need to do the same thing. I'm not telling us not to hold each other accountable. Absolutely. But we need to be a unified front in public and check one another in private. We are all out and wild side. We have no problem with finding something wrong with one of us. We always, it's like the easiest thing to do, to ridicule one another. We'll find so many excuses on why other people do what they do, even when it affects us negatively. We find excuses on why. That stuff got to stop, man. You need to take this from white people. Look at how they do that. That's why they run everything. We got to stick together. We have to understand that everybody is growing. You know what I'm saying? Don't judge each other by each other's growth. You wouldn't want to do that. Like we don't put ourselves, in these people's shoes at all. Again, what are you doing for the cause? What actions are you doing daily to reverse, some of the BS that we got going on? What are you really doing? See, this is why I'm on here. Because I want to do something. I don't want to just talk about it. Granted, I'm talking, but I want to, talk so people can hear me. I don't want to just have these private conversations and me talking cash shit about people on TV and you this and you that and da-da-da-da. Nah, if I'm going to talk, if talking is all I can do, I want to brighten up your mind. I want to spark those minds so y'all can think. That's what we need. Everything we do, it has to be cultivated to our culture and for the betterment of ourselves. We have to start looking deeper than this surface stuff. We are all flawed. Every time you see somebody that's trying to make a difference and think about what you would do. How would you feel? Think about the things that you do in your daily life that that the world would deem horrible, and they would completely think differently of you. Think about that one thing, and how would you feel? If you were trying to make a difference and somebody just picked that out and just use that, as a representation of who you are forever. How would you feel about that? We don't think. We just point fingers. Don't you know when you do this, these fingers are pointing right back at you? And it's crazy how I learned all this from having a conversation with my family. Like I said, normally when we have deep conversations like this, or not so much deep, but, political conversations and whatnot, we tend to argue. Again, I'm very strong. I have very strong opinions, and so does the rest of my family members. But this time was different. And for me, I'm not sure about them. I know, but for me, it really showed, my growth. because I have no desire to argue or debate with anyone. I truly want us all to just have these conversations so we can, productively come up with a solution. Because let's keep it a buck. We all know what the problems are. Like with holidays and things of that nature. We going in trying to educate and, wake up, our peoples and whatnot. Man, everybody know that the Native Americans got done dirty. Everybody knows, regardless if the each issue, time stamped and whatnot. We all know that the white folks came over here, they did the indigenous dirty, and that Thursday's holiday, it was to celebrate that. I don't care who you are, even learning in school, that's what it is. So there's no point in trying to argue about that. Like, I wasn't arguing with nobody. I hung out with my peoples. I got dressed. I look cute. I did a really good job. This was my first turkey day when I ain't no meat. I did great. I enjoyed my peoples and all of that. I also posted on my page a good old video with Charity Croft where he explained, because I love how he explains things. He has all of the evidence, all of the facts, all that stuff that you need, that you guys say that, when we say these things, we don't have the proof of. So I posted the proof right there. You watch it if at your own leisure. I ain't about to argue with you about that. Doesn't make any sense. I'm not gonna argue with nobody about Christmas neither. Y'all already know that the time stamp when y'all talk about what it's supposed to be about, when Jesus died and rose and all of that, y'all already know the time stamp don't work. You already know the days don't add up. We already know that. And we all do know that nobody celebrates Christmas the way they're supposed to. And y'all go to church, but Christmas is about presents. You buy all this stuff for your kids and, and yourself. It's about materialism. It's about money. We all know this. We all know this. So there is no point in arguing back and forth about it. You put out the facts and you share it to the world. Once it's out there, like Jamar says all the time, you cannot unhear what you have heard, and you cannot unsee what you have seen. Once you have that experience, your brain collects it and it's in there. That's how that works. So this is how we need to, start handling, these topics with one another. I'm going to keep stressing, we need to talk. We need to have conversations, but they need to be productive. That is the only thing that I want to stress. Because there's so much to learn. There's so much things to relearn. And we all need to help each other do that. There's too much information. Not one person can comprehend it all. So we got to work together. Okay? We have to be more overstanding with one another. We have to start to seek to overstand one another. Even if you disagree with what a person is saying, try to find their intentions. If you look for that, you can get the message that, that they want. I'll give you another example of that, like the movie David Banner just did. Now, a lot of people, would, if you've seen it, might feel that, like, why would David Banner do a movie like that, considering that he's, pro-black and, revolutionary and all. Because it's religiously based. He's talking about, God and Jesus and all that good stuff. But it's not really preachy. It's not overly religious, but it's definitely religious based. So most people would assume that she wouldn't do a movie like that. But like he said when he was, being interviewed about it, he wants you to get something from it. Again, if you want to reach people, you have to reach people where they are. I'm sure there are plenty of people on here who watch me who are religious. Whatever I'm not going to just, put it on Christianity. I'm sure there are plenty other, people who have a religious background who watch my show. And I make it clear, that I'm not religious. But at the same time, I'm sure there's things that I say when I'm talking about these topics that they can get from what I'm saying. And, despite I might not be saying that, Jesus is, or God, is the catalyst for all that I'm talking about. That would be the only difference. I feel like it comes from me. Y'all feel like it comes from him. You have a right to do that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want you to, just completely knock out what I'm saying, because a lot of things that I say have nothing to do with religion. It has everything to do with us being as humans, period. Things that we deal with on a regular basis that has nothing to do with church or how, how you live your life spiritually. And I wouldn't want, because that religion is the biggest thing that divides us as a people. Because we don't respect, the fact that everyone has a right to their own path. That is the issue. It's not about who's right and who's wrong. It's about respecting everyone's path and allowing them to be asleep, to be woke, to be half asleep, to be trying to awake. Everybody has a right to do, how they feel. They have to live their life. You have no control over that. And you don't have the right to, because you don't want anybody to control you. Right? So it's the respect that is needed. That's what's needed for us to get over all these hurdles. Stop focusing on the things that divide us and focus on the things that we have the same. Like the issues we have in the society. I promise you, the police don't care if you're conscious or if you believe in God or if you believe in Jesus. They will still shoot you. They don't care. And this is what I want us to understand. We worry about the wrong things. We argue about the wrong things. None of that stuff matters. You light skin and you dark skin. Again, I'm from this place, you from that place. You still a nigga to them. They don't care. So we need to start focusing on, finding the things so we can unite. So we can counter out, so we can cut all of that stuff out. Something else that I also have just reinforced in my mind with this conversation I had. I'm trying to go. I'm trying to be out. Like, we as black people, we try so hard. And I'm sorry, y'all, but this is just the truth. We have strived our whole lives to try to fit into this society and reach the successes that this society has set forth. And we lose every time. Instead of us wanting to do our own thing. Now, don't get me wrong. There have definitely been times where we have tried to do that and the powers that be, have destroyed it. So this is a fact, because they say this about us as well. They say that we're lazy and that, we don't ever try to get our shit together. But there are several times where we did. You ever seen the movie Rosewood? Look it up. Black Wall Street. Something for you to Google tonight while you sipping on your drink. Google that. That we were a self-functioning society. We had our own banks. We had our own schools. Everything. Black owned, black run, black produced. We were self-sufficient. Government, everything. We had our own police for all of that. And they came through and they bombed it. That is a fact. Go look it up. So don't think for 1 second, and this is why I keep telling y'all, we have to stop being so harsh on one another. We have to stop, feeding into those stereotypes that we are given, because there are a lot of us out here who are making the attempts to do something and we get knocked down every time. So this is why we need the numbers. This is why we need to stick together. We are the biggest consumers in this country. Our image is put out as if we're the brokest. We're always, we're the ones who always need public assistance. We're not self-sufficient, all of this stuff, but we spend the most money. That's ass backwards. How you spend the most money, but your image is that you're the most unwealthy. You don't own it. We don't own anything. We don't own anything. We don't even own our communities. We don't. Name one black community that you've ever been a part of, that you've ever seen, where every business is owned by us. Never. Unless you was alive around Black Wall Street. I have seen several. They got, they go, like I say, they got Little Russia and Little China. They have all of these little sub, category communities, from other countries when they come here and they get to settle in their space and do what they do. We're the only ones who don't have that, and it's okay. We don't say anything about it. We've accepted that. Now, don't get me wrong. I get it. We didn't have that mindset before, but we have it now. It's out there now. You now know. You know what I'm saying? That this can be done. You just have to, you have to just discipline ourselves. We have to reprogram ourselves. And that takes time. You cannot expect that, you can't expect to be a certain way, for 30 some odd years, and then just flip a switch. Doesn't work that way. You have to reprogram yourselves, and, you got to detox yourself from what you know. And then, put in, the good stuff or the new stuff. That's how that works. Like, even with your health, a lot of us feel like you could just exercise and, just start taking herbs automatically, and then poof, you alkaline. It don't work that way. That's not how that works. It's just like if your plumbing system is backed up. You got to unclog it first. Before you clean it out and, do whatever it is you do. You have to clean that stuff out. That's why you have a filter in your body. That's why you have a liver and kidneys. You put stuff in that's to filter it out. Then you put the good stuff in. And everything starts working properly. But you got to fix the problem first. And that's something that we don't do. And we don't think about. We want this instant gratification, and it doesn't work that way. You don't work that way. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like we get outside of ourselves and we're looking at other people and we're expecting them to do things that, that we ourselves are not even, equipped to do at the moment. Not to say we don't have the potential, but we're not willing to do it. We're not willing to discipline ourselves to do it. So we need to start thinking about that. I'm not saying not to have an opinion about people. I'm not saying, that we shouldn't hold each other accountable, because we should. But we also need to back each other up. We also need to take, have sympathies and take into consideration, our issues. We behave and do what we do for a reason. Nobody just wakes up one day and, and starts acting a fool. There's a reason for that. A lot of that is learned behavior. So you have to unlearn that behavior. I've used this example before, like when you're in school. That's just like if your teacher started cursing you out in kindergarten because you don't understand, what they're saying, or you didn't get the vocabulary right, or you missed the letter. How is your 6-year-old is supposed to truly learn if they get cursed out if they make a mistake? Remember, we're learning stuff that has been pretty much hidden from us. It's another thing we need to take into consideration. Everybody in the world knows about us but us. All this information that we argue about back and forth, this information has already been known, and people are using this information to their benefit. They know about it. We don't. And this is why we feel like, you crazy, what are you talking about? Let's do some research. Open your mind. Again, I'm not telling you to just jump off a cliff, and just stop, believing what you believe in. I can't tell you to do that. But what I can tell you is to open up your mind. Because again, think about your situation. We keep thinking outside instead of looking in. You know how long you've been following your spiritual path. You know where you are right now. Has it been working for you? Like, we were watching the Sister Circle, so hilarious, at least to me. David Banner was talking about, the things that we have attempted to do, to change our issues and how they haven't worked. He says, marching doesn't work. He said, marching and protesting, and he said praying doesn't work. And they cut him off. Well, they didn't cut him off, but I believe her name is Selena Johnson. That's her name. So she went and said she agreed with everything that he said except for the praying part. Now, I'm a smart individual, so this is, the Sister Circle is obviously a pre-recorded show. So they completely cut his answer, his reply to what she said. Now, he was on another show, and I've reposted the clip. You can go through my news feed. I'll actually repost it after this live. But he explained, he was explaining to the interview that he was on, how the only thing that white supremacy, respects is loss of finances and loss of life. He said that if those police officers that are shooting up our people and our children and our mothers and daughters and all of that, if they could actually lose their jobs and their pensions, if there's something would actually happen, if they felt like someone could come and shoot one of their family members, if they felt like that could be a possibility, they wouldn't do it. You're not going to mess up your livelihood on purpose. Consciously. You're not going to consciously do something to, that can possibly, have your family, hurt. You're not going to do that. But there's no consequences, to their actions. They don't lose any money. And, their peoples are walking around chilling. Their kids are cool. Their moms and dads are cool. They don't got to worry about that. And this is what we need to be worrying about. Again, we focus on the wrong stuff. We argue about the wrong stuff. When we need to be focused on that fact that we are the biggest consumers, and that is what it's going to take to stop all of this stuff. That is what we need to do. Because again, we've been marching. How many marches has it been since the 1950s? We're still at the bottom. We still haven't gone anywhere. I know a lot of y'all feel like because you can have certain jobs and you can go in certain places and you can do certain things that you feel like you're free and all this other stuff, but that's just not true. If you look at every industry, and you look at the people, who are ahead of this, it ain't our faces that you see. In our government, you got a sprinkle of us in there. That's not equal. It should be half and half. You know what I'm saying? For every white person in the house, there should be a black person in the house. It ain't like that. We're outnumbered in every situation. That's just a fact. Praying, like he said, doesn't work. Don't we pray all the time? When our family members get sick, we pray for them, right? Some of them make it and some of them don't. Don't you pray? You know what I'm saying? You pray that you don't get into situations. You pray that you don't have to deal with certain things, but you still do. From what I was told, my grandmother felt, I don't know if it was a presence or she had a feeling, that something was going on with me the night that I was having my accident. That's what I was told. She felt that. And my grandmother was a praying woman. If she didn't do nothing else, my grandma prayed. So when she got that feeling, she started to pray. This is what they told me. Granted, now she was praying, all that good stuff. That didn't stop me from losing my arm. I still got into that car accident. Now granted, the situation, ended up the best way that I feel like it could have possibly happened because I'm Gucci. But the fact of the matter is, it didn't matter how much she called Jesus. That didn't stop this from happening. What is supposed to happen is going to happen. People die every day. And you don't think that their family members pray that that don't happen? You don't think, you know what I'm saying? You don't think that they, they pray to their gods, you know what I'm saying, and do whatever it is they do to stop those things from happening, but it happens anyway. So again, how is that helped? And we're not saying that you don't consult the ancestors, you know what I'm saying, or pray, as you say. We're not saying that you can't do that, but even the Bible says faith without works is dead. So you can't sit there and just pray and think that, the answers or, you know what I'm saying, the help that you're seeking is just going to come out of the sky, because it don't work that way. If that was the case, what's the point in going to the doctor? If all you got to do is pray over your wounds or whatever it is going on, why do you need to go to the doctor for? If prayer really did stop, I'm sure the slaves, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure during slavery, they were praying. I'm sure even before they, completely forgot, their gods and their spirituality. When they abducted Jesus, you don't think that they were praying that, that this would stop? You don't think that? But that whole situation lasted 400 years. So you don't think in 400 years folks was praying? So again, we're not saying that you shouldn't do that. I consult with my ancestors all the time. I just call it meditating. Same difference. But see, with meditating, I'm seeking the solution within myself. I'm trying to figure out what I can physically do or emotionally or mentally do to stop what's going on. That's the difference. I'm not just sitting there, please somebody, fix this. I need you to come to, and I need you to come and intervene in this. That's not what I'm doing. It's more so, okay, Plump Queen, you have a problem. Calm yourself so you can find a solution. Think about all the pros and cons. Think about all of your resources. Everything that you have access to that can help you solve this problem. That's the difference. So when I come up out of my meditation, I'm going to do some work. I'm not just sitting there awaiting for, the answer to show up or the solution to show up. You have to actively do something. That's the only difference. And this is why I say we need to so much focus on, what we have in common than in what's different. Because a lot of those differences are same differences. As one of my phrases like, it's the same difference. A lot of it is. So we need to stop focusing on that. That is what's going to elevate us and get us to where we need to go. Or at least have the mindset to make the changes that we need to get where we need to go. We have to stop judging one another. We all come from the same chaos. We all have our own, trauma stories. We all suffer from residual, effects of, slavery and everything. We all have, things about that. We have that in us. It has been bred in us. We all have it. Now, some of us are stronger than others. So some of us, some of us have been exposed to different things. Because again, everybody says how strong I am, which I am. Don't get me wrong. But I've been exposed to certain things. I didn't just wake up one day and was just conscious. That's not how it worked. I grew up the first 9 years of my life. I was a Christian. My mama was a Christian, so I was a Christian. You know what I'm saying? But her choices, has put me on this path. The people that she decided to bring into her life, brought me to this path. So I didn't just do that by myself. And I'm grateful for that. And to be quite honest, that makes, for me, I see other people even better. Like, for instance, my mentor, Jamar Melton. He was a Christian for 30, what did he say? 38 years straight? 35 years straight? I believe he just turned 38. So he went through all his 20s and the majority of his 30s, you know what I'm saying, being religious. And then he woke up, did research and continued to research, you know what I'm saying, educated himself. So 3 years later, you know what I'm saying, you ask me, you would have thought that he has been conscious pretty much his whole life. You know what I'm saying? So in my eyes, he's stronger than me. Because now granted he's older than me, but I've had a little bit of this since childhood. I've had a taste of consciousness from then. He went through all them years. Saw something, I believe he said that, a major event happened in his life and he was waiting for God or the devil to show up and neither one of them showed up. So that's when he started on his journey, you know what I'm saying, to his path now. Yes, he's 39. Thank you, Shamba. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's different, man. This is what it is. Everybody's life path is different. Everybody's learning curve is completely different. And we need to start taking that into consideration. We honestly need to worry about ourselves and where we are on this learning curve. And we need to utilize each other's experiences and where we are on this curve so we can help each other. Because again, there's things that I may know that you don't. So here I am sharing the things that I know. And there's something that you know that I don't. So I would love for you to comment, you know what I'm saying? This is what we need to do. We need to each one teach one. We say all of these catchy phrases, but we really don't use them. We don't actually apply these phrases that we use all the time. Everyone has something, you know what I'm saying, to give. Knowledge is infinite. You will never know everything. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Because we don't all have the same experiences. And we need to utilize that. That's why I don't judge anybody. That's why when people talk to me and, even if it's something that I don't agree with right away until I actually do some research behind it, because a lot of things that we feel is a negative thing don't necessarily have to be negative. We just don't understand it. And as they say, it's human. Humans fear what we don't understand and we hate what we fear. That's a fact. That's another reason why we argue so much with one another. Because we are afraid. I had a video about this not too long ago. We're so afraid to see what's on the other side. We want to just stick to what we know, no matter how effed up it may be. It's what we know. It's what we're used to, and we've been functioning in it. So in our minds, it can't be all bad because I've been functioning in this. I'm still alive. I'm still breathing. I'm still doing da-da-da-da, and ba-ba-ba-ba-boo. That's how we look at it. But you don't understand, you know what I'm saying? Everything you've ever dreamed of, everything that you ever want is right on the other side of that door of fear. Life, you know what I'm saying? Life is not promised. You know what I'm saying? You don't know when it's your time to go. You got to live your life. You have to. Then what's the point? Why are you here? No one is just born for nothing. Everyone has a purpose. Whether you know it or not. That's the whole point of life. To live it and figure that out. That's what the journey is about. We tend to focus so much on the end result instead of appreciating the journey. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful. All of those things mold you into who you are. All of that leads you to your potential and to whatever it is that you're supposed to do. So we need not fight it. Because again, there's certain things that you don't have control over. It's what you do have control over is how you respond and how you react. And what you do with what happens to you. These are the things that, I think about and that I got from this conversation that I had with my peoples that's, started off with David Banner. Because, we all just, again, we all have these, pre-recorded thoughts and processes about who we are, what we're supposed to do, how we're supposed to do it. And we actually need to redefine what those things are. We feel like we can't step out of the box and do our own thing. We it's almost like we like with holidays. Y'all feel obligated to celebrate these things. You can argue with me if you want to, but the fact of the matter is that you feel obligated to do so because everybody does it. You know what I'm saying? This is an everybody thing. We've been doing this for years. So this is the thing to do. You don't really look into what it is you're doing, because when you're celebrating something, you're supposed to be happy about it. That's what you're celebrating, right? That's why you make, they made these holidays, to celebrate victories, things that they were happy about. So again, what were they happy about? They were happy about slaughtering a whole bunch of people, leaving a place that they didn't want to be, coming here, almost dying, figuring out a way to survive, and then killing off the folks that helped them do that and taking over. That is the essence of Thanksgiving. You can be mad all you want. That's just what it is. But you feel obligated to buy that food, to cook it, to get up, to have this situation, because that's what everybody does. Even though you know for a fact that it stems from a massacre. We gotta change that up. Why can't we make up our own stuff? Like somebody was telling me, I had posted something up about Kwanzaa. Like if I was to celebrate anything remotely towards Christmas, it would be Kwanzaa. But then one of my friends, who respects my point of view and, the way I look at things, but in most cases, don't agree. He had put up there, he had commented that he believes that the person who created Kwanzaa was a government agent or, worked for the government or something like that. And he said that, to me, not so much to bring out facts, but I guess he looked at it as me glorifying this person, because I want to, I'm going against Christmas, so I want to do this, but this person is doing something wrong too. So you're talking about the fallacies of Christmas and why we shouldn't celebrate it. But then you got this person who did this, so, maybe you should rethink about celebrating Kwanzaa. I'm going to assume that was the tone of why he made that comment, which is cool. I can dig it. But see, here's the difference. At the end of the day, regardless of government, informant, or not, that man tried to create, he created, a holiday that was surrounded by principles and our culture to help us. You can say what you want about Kwanzaa, but those 7 principles is something that we need to cultivate in our culture. We used to do that, and we don't anymore. We're talking about cooperative economics, purpose, unity. All of these positive, affirmations and, and positive, ways of doing things. Having 7 days of celebrating our culture, something that, resonates with us. So I don't care who his employer is. That has more to do with me than Christmas. Point blank and period. So if I'm going to choose anyone, if I'm going to do some type of celebrating, I want to celebrate something that celebrates me. That's all I'm saying. Again, you can celebrate Christmas by all means. Don't get me wrong. If somebody buy me something, buy me a present, I'm going to accept it. For sure. I like presents. But at the end of the day, just understand what is. I'm not a Christian. If Christmas is based upon the birth and death of Jesus, however it works. That's not my culture. So why would I celebrate that? Why would I spend money, you know what I'm saying, doing all of that if that's not what I'm about? Again, you can do what you want. And then within doing what you want to celebrate Christmas, cool. But there's a way that you can do that to, again, you know what I'm saying, better yourself and your community. We spend all of this money on material things for Christmas. Think about the things that you plan on buying your kids. Think about them Jordans you're about to buy them that they're going to grow out of next year, and you're going to have to buy them spend another $300 next Christmas to get them a new pair. Think about all the, the video games and the toys and the clothes and all of the stuff that has no true value. It's not going to help you when you need some bread during the year, when problems come up and issues, you know what I'm saying, when the boiler breaks and, you know what I'm saying, you need this fixed and this, that, and the third, but you done spend 2-3 stacks on material things that do nothing really for you. But you won't put and invest in yourself. You'll spend money on stuff that mean nothing. But then I'll come to you, you know what I'm saying, with a concept, you know what I mean, that you can use that'll better your family. It'll give you experiences. Like, instead of buying your son or your, you know what I'm saying, or your daughter, this toy from some other place, why don't you take them to another place? When you were a kid, what would you have rathered? Your mom give you, the doll, you know what I'm saying, that, or the toy that you saw on TV, or she sent you to Egypt for 4 days and 3 nights. Which one would you have preferred? To travel the world or to have toys? Because see, we always talk about how the opportunities we don't have, how white folk get to do this and they get to do that, and we don't get to do that. But then opportunities present themselves and then we don't do it. Because of this fear I was talking about earlier. You truly don't think that you can live that life. You truly feel like you have to work a 9 to 5, work that 40 hours a week and all that in order to receive or to live that type of life. And if it doesn't come from that, it's false. It has to be some fraud somewhere in there. Whether you know it or not, the whole workforce, you know what I'm saying, is highway robbery. They work y'all to death. Work y'all to death. So when you're 60 years old, you know what I'm saying, right before you about to die, you can have a little bit of fun. You can enjoy your life a little bit. You only got, you spend 40, 50 years working, but you only get 10 or 20 of them to enjoy all that hard work. That's what y'all do. Every day. Work 50 years into someone else's goal. Because remember, guys, that job you work for, that's someone's business. That was someone's dream. That you're making come true. You're the reason why their children is going to have something for them to leave. For their children going to have something. You can't leave your job to your kids. None of the materialistic things that you buy your children, you know what I'm saying, they can really do anything with. But we don't think that way. And we need to. We have to reprogram the things that we deem important. We need to stop fighting each other over same differences. I just made that word up. We need to find every reason, you know what I'm saying, to be united, to come together to fix our issues. What as many of them as there are. Those are the things that we need to focus on. I implore you to try to do things differently. You want different results, you have to do something different. You can't keep asking for change. We need a change. We need something has to give. You expecting something to give and something to change outside of yourself. You need to change yourself and the way that you do things. Because let me tell you, honestly, the society is not going to change. This is an infrastructure. And everything has been built upon it. To be quite honest, if they shut down, if they do what they're supposed to do with the government, probably this whole world will shut down. They have everything so sewed up with one another that if you did certain things, you know what I'm saying, to make everything equal, it will crash the system. It's a fact. So we have to start thinking differently and, utilizing our resources differently. So for next year, think about that. Again, all I'm here trying to do is save y'all some money. I mean, don't get mad at me. You know how much money you're going to save? If you don't have to be obligated to spend all your bread. And like I said, I'm going to repost that Charity Croft video that I posted. He made an amazing point about all of the excessiveness of these holidays, and how we just celebrate gluttony. Like with Thanksgiving he was talking about. You pretty much come together for food. Thanksgiving is all about food, and lots of it. You just make all this food that, to be quite honest, is not good for you, does not nourish your body at all. And that is a day that you are allowed to just indulge and indulge and indulge. And it's okay. It's okay to have 4 plates, full plates of food and 5 pieces of cake. It's okay because it's Thanksgiving. You're grateful for a lot of things, so be a glutton. Please tell me how that makes sense. You never thought of it that way, did you? I'm sure you didn't. But that's the basis of it. When you break that down, that's what you do. You're grateful for life, your family, your new job, whatever it is. So let's feed ourselves unhealthily, and because we're grateful for life, so let's kill ourselves. I know that's a little harsh, but yeah, hypertension, diabetes, all of these are all the diseases that are killing our people on a regular basis, and all of that comes from the food that we eat. So we have a specific day where it is okay to overly poison ourselves. I say things like that in that way because, again, I'm trying to get you to over 60. They push their agenda on their commercials. It's good. It's soul food. It's good for the soul. And, it brings together with a good meal. See, they're advertising that and they're phrasing, these words and phrases so it can be attractive to you to do that. Well, now I'm going to put the flip side to it and show you exactly what it is. I'm going to take all the fluff, all the Maybelline off of it and tell you exactly what it is, because that's what it is. And I understand that we're used to it. I understand this is something that's been embedded in us. Like I said, I could dig all of that, and it's easier said than done. And 9.5 of y'all ain't about to do it. Most of us are set in our ways, and we're going to continue to do, what we have been doing in our routine, which again is cool. But just think about, just think of it a little differently next time. That's all. Take this into consideration when the holidays come again. Think about what it is that you are purchasing if you're going to be buying presents. Make sure these things, are conducive, to you and your family's life. We need to start thinking about different, we have to start spending differently. Something else David Banner said. We spend like children. Grown-ass people, but we spend money like it's children. I'm guilty of this. As soon as we get some extra money, we trying to buy the next thing that we done saw. I do it all the time. I'll be flipping through Facebook, and they have this metadata situation going on with whatever you click on, the things that you view. They're starting to develop commercials and things that they put out there for you to see. Because so you can buy them. So I always have these little advertisements for clothing stores, little cheap clothing stores that they be having online and whatnot. They be having a little cute, cheap stuff, and they see that I be liking at it, so they always sending something. And then I'm looking at it, oh, yo, that dress is nice. It's only $12.99. Yes, I can kill that. I'm guilty of it. Everything I say to go for y'all, go for me times 10. So I understand what that's like. But we have to change that. You know what I'm saying? I have been working on it. And as a matter of fact, the universe has put me in a position where I can't really do that. But this is what I'm learning. I have to stop doing that. I have to focus. There's so many more important things that honestly that I need to get done. You know what I'm saying? That costs money. So that little $12, that little $13 that dress, I need to put that aside. All the little things that, that I used to use to pretty much keep me occupied, because, it's definitely a task keeping myself, motivated when I'm by myself all the time. As I grow, it gets easier, but I have to do certain things. Y'all don't understand. I'm not just sitting around my house all day with a cheese smile on my face. Like, that's not how that works. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things that I want to do, and I'm in a position in certain things that I can't do. Like, I don't know how to drive. That limits me in a lot of ways. I have to work on that. So instead of me buying a $13 dress, I need to be putting some money away so I can get a car, learn how to drive, do all these things. But these are habits that I have to break because I have developed them. Again, my defense. Now, I don't want to say a defense mechanism because it's not really a defense. But, this is how I've been keeping myself, motivated and, keeping myself from being depressed, and things of that nature. Keeping myself, using things to make me happy, in my little moments, to have happy moments. But I have to change that. Once you know the root of something, you have the power to change it. So since I know I do certain things, and that was my purpose for it, that no longer suits my life anymore. I don't need that anymore. I have now found something more to keep me happy. My new now life's work. So I don't need to, have to go on little spending sprees. Because that's what I used to do. If I ever was, I don't like using the word depressed. But if I'm ever upset or in my feelings or in my emotions and I can't get what it is that I want or, the result that I'm looking for in that specific situation, what I'll do is do something for myself, to make me feel better. I'll take myself out on a date. I'll go to a little Mexican restaurant up the block, have my spinach quesadillas and my medium, which is a huge margarita. You know what I'm saying? And I will enjoy myself, listen to my music. I'll go on my patio, drink a bottle of wine and listen to my music and play spades on my phone. Anything that I can do to occupy my mind. Because as they say, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. So, and I have a lot of time on my hand. So sitting at home, thinking about all that stuff, could be an issue. So I try to do things to occupy my mind so I don't go too far. Well, now that was good for them. Some people might feel like what the things that I chose to do may not have been the right or wrong things, but like drinking and things of that nature. But that's what I felt like. That's what I had access to, and that's what I felt like I needed to keep me cool. And it has. I ain't been spazzing on nobody. I've been chilling. But now I'm growing. That no longer suits me anymore. First of all, drinking is not healthy. Having a glass of wine is cool and all that, but, just excessively drinking, it's not a good thing. It also, stifles you spiritually, something that I have learned. So I have to now replace these habits that I have made for myself with something else. And I want my new habits to be more, healthy, more productive, I'm saying, more conducive, to, the life that I want to live. So I need to start meditating more. I need, I'm saying, I need to get more what they would call grounding. I need to find a place around. I live in an apartment building. I don't have a house. So just going outside and, being one with the earth is not really, well, at least it wasn't. I'm going to make it conducive for myself. I need to start going outside, doing the opening of the way. I need to start my day, I'm saying, on a more spiritual tone than I have been. Now, I'm not going to beat myself up because I've been, I've actually just, learned a lot of things about meditating and things of that nature from being a part of the lighthouse. So I'm just learning these, these jewels or these lessons. So now it's time for me to apply them. The more I apply them, I'm saying, the higher I'll elevate. So that's what I'm doing. I know my issues, so I work on them. And this is one of the reasons why I talk about my issues sometimes, because I really need y'all to understand that I'm a regular person. I am just like you. You are just like me. There's nothing that I can do that you can't. There is nothing that I have overcome that you can't. Everything is about perspective. You just have to be open-minded, and you can be exposed and learn anything. Anything. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if you guys are going to be honest with me, I got to be honest with you. Because again, I'm a human being. That's another thing that we had talked about in our conversation, and I'm probably going to let y'all go on y'all Friday, enjoy it. But we have this thing where I get back to the whole judging, type situation. Like we just feel like, if you claim to be this, that it has to be this certain way, and that's not just what it is. Let folks be who they are and evolve into who they're supposed to be. Always have that in mind. If you are trying to be someone that's out there to be a leader, or if it's just if someone's attempting to do something that affects you in a positive light, respect that. Even if you don't agree. There are several people on Facebook that have lives and you do stuff, and a lot of stuff and the things that they say, I just be looking like deer eyes, like word. A lot of stuff I don't agree with. I feel like, a lot of folks should, stop. Like what you're doing is not really helping. But at the end of the day, everybody has a right, to put out the information that they feel is right. Like people have, I look at people's intentions. Like even when sometimes people, indirectly try to insult me, or sometimes that's not what they're trying to do. Just like I feel like it's my job to, come on here and inspire y'all. Well, these people feel the same way, and this is their way of doing it. So I can't knock them for that. I don't agree with your information, but that information might resonate with somebody else. That whatever you said might spark them to actually go out and get better information. You know what I'm saying? But he's attempting, they are attempting to do something. And especially for people who are the viewers, if you're someone who just views, you need to take that into consideration too. This person is taking time out of their life to teach you something, and you didn't ask for it. Someone took the initiative to care about, us as a group, and since you're a part of that, that affects you. You should appreciate that, just for what it's worth. No one's saying that you got to listen or, take them verbatim, but respect that they are trying to do something. This is the only way we're all going to get on one accord, even with all of our differences. That's why I try really hard not to, I don't want to debate with no other, bloggers or whatever. If you got some information, you spread yours, I spread mine. I watch people's blogs and they'll say something that, that resonates with me. I'll write it down and just put my own Plum Queen spin on that, on how I'm perceiving it. We have to just educate each other and share and teach one another with respect. Respect is the key. We have to respect each other. We don't. That has been taught to us. I get it. But we have to start respecting one another. Respect, love, whichever one you want to call it, however you want to use it. We need to start doing that. That is what's going to give us to think these ways. Because you think about that about your own self. You think about the people that you care about. You can have a cousin who did something, they're guilty about something, but that's your family. You love your cousin, so you're going to scream free Pookie, even though he did it. But that's your people's. So you rock with him. So even in his flaws, there are good things about this person. So you're taking into consideration the good things about him, even though he did that crime. We need to start seeing each other, period, in that light. Again, hold each other accountable. Don't get me wrong. But we need to start sticking together. We're the only group of people that don't do that. And it's our biggest issue. We can't touch nothing else. The comedic sciences and all of that stuff means nothing if you can't get the basics of loving one another. What does any of that knowledge mean if you can't apply it? What's the point of knowing that? You've lived your whole life not knowing any of that. But what's the point of knowing it if you can't do something simple as love your neighbor? The neighbor that looks just like you. The neighbor that goes through the same things as you do. What good is to, is to know, about the history if you can't even get that? We're worrying about the wrong stuff. So I'm going to let y'all go. That is the inspiration that I got from my Turkey Day experience this year. So I hope that this touched somebody or, gave you some good information that you could take back and make you think. Because that is exactly what my lives are all about. I'm here to make you think, to make you see the different vantage points of different things. This is how you can be well-rounded and you can live your life in balance. That's what Ankh and Ma'at is. Pretty much. So I love y'all. Y'all are awesome with the sauce. Again, I hope y'all enjoyed y'all Thursday, whether you celebrated it or not. I definitely had a good time with my peoples. It was a very successful holiday. I hope that y'all loved up on one another, because again, like I always say, any day of the year that you get to love up on your peoples, and show how much you care and how much y'all appreciate and your gratitude for one another, it's A-okay. Now what I will suggest is we should do that more often. We shouldn't have to wait until Thanksgiving and Christmas. We shouldn't have to wait till holidays to let everyone know that we, that we appreciate them. That we love them. This is something that should happen on a daily basis. To be quite honest, if we did that on a daily basis, Christmas and all these holidays probably wouldn't have as much effect on us. We probably wouldn't feel as obligated to do them if we did this 365 instead of one day out of the year. If you show gratitude every day to everyone that you are grateful for on a daily basis, you would not get up, spend your whole night cooking, then the whole day cooking just for y'all to talk to each other. You probably wouldn't do it. Why? Because you go out to eat twice, 2-3 times out of the week anyway. Right? If you gave people gifts, I'm not telling you to buy somebody something every day. But if you gave gifts to the people that you care about, that are, you know, in your circle, that you deal with on a regular basis, that do for you, and, you know, give you whatever it is, whatever positive energy or whatever it is that they give to you, if you gave them a gift on a reg just to say thank you for being you, being in my life, would you really have to do that on December 25th? If you rewarded your children, for things that they do, good grades, doing their chores exactly when you told them to do it and they did it right. You know what I'm saying? If you gave them a gift, for that, would you really spend all of that money in one shot on one day? Would you really do that? If you've been giving your kids presents all year? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. So we gotta keep these things in mind. Loving up on one another, being there for one another, that should be a 24/7, 365-day event. Tomorrow's not promised. You're supposed to be loving up on your peoples beforehand. You should be, like my grandma had said before she died, give me my flowers before my funeral. I can't do nothing with them flowers laying on my casket. Can't do nothing with them. Can't smell them. Can't see how beautiful they are. Can't touch them. See how, how soft the petals feel. Can't do nothing with that while I'm gone. So give me that while I'm here. Now that is an old Christian saying. But for some reason, we don't apply that. Think about it. So I love y'all. I'm out this month. I'm going to let y'all enjoy y'all weekend. I'll be back on Monday to talk about something else. I had it in my mind, but it just went out the window, and I don't want to sound crazy. So, yeah, we're going to talk about it on Monday. But I love y'all. Share, because you know we got to make Ampspiration go viral. Enjoy your evening, and I will see y'all on Monday. Peace.